Just a week out from UFC 320, the tension in the air feels like it could split the octagon itself. This card is stacked with 2 titles on the line, and all eyes are locked on the co-main event between Sandhagen and Merab. For years, fans have wondered if Sandhagen's fluid, creative striking could finally translate into championship gold, and he's making it clear that this time, there are no excuses. In a fiery Instagram post, he promised that he's walking out with the belt draped over his shoulder, but across from him stands a champion who refuses to yield. Merab, known for his relentless pace and suffocating wrestling, has doubled down on his vow to stand and trade blows with Sandhagen. At first, many dismissed it as bluster. Why would a man abandon the style that made him champion? Yet his longtime coach Ray Longo insists this isn't talk. According to Longo, Merab has sharpened every weapon in his arsenal and carries knockout power that could silence the slick striker in brutal fashion. Suddenly, the question isn't just whether Sandhagen can stop the freight train of takedowns, but whether he'll be prepared for a completely new version of the champion, one the sport hasn't seen before. For Sandhagen, this fight is everything. He's always been a fan favorite, admired for his cerebral approach to fighting and his dazzling offense. But admiration doesn't put gold around your waist. He's had his shots, he's been close, but this feels like the last chance to climb the mountain. Many analysts agree. Sandhagen has one route to victory, and that's to keep the fight standing, slow down the chaos Merab brings, and land something devastating. But against a man who has built his legacy on breaking wills and pushing paces no one else can match, it's a herculean task. And if Merab truly does mix striking into his relentless pressure, this co-main event could be one of the most unpredictable showdowns of the year. The card only gets more dramatic when Alex Pereira steps back into the spotlight. In his first fight against Ankalaev at UFC 313, Pereira admitted something shocking. He was only at 40% that night. By his own words, he was stunned he even made it to the cage, his training camp plagued with problems he won't fully reveal. Still, the fight was steeped in controversy. Ankalaev claimed mid-bout that Pereira felt too slippery, hinting that the Brazilian might have been greased, though he never outright accused him. What's more ironic is that despite those claims, Ankalaev couldn't land a single takedown. Instead, Pereira, the feared striker, was the one who managed an unofficial takedown after the bell. Now, heading into UFC 320, the stakes are sky high. Pereira isn't just looking to erase doubt. He wants to prove he's the rightful king of light heavyweight. Ankalaev, riding a 14-fight unbeaten streak, is hungry to rewrite history and cement himself as the dominant force of the division. For both men, this isn't just a fight. It's a legacy-defining war. And if drama inside the cage wasn't enough, the fight world has been buzzing about Strickland's latest controversy. The former middleweight champion got into a physical altercation with a sparring partner at his gym, one that escalated beyond sport into personal threats. Ankalaev, who has trained alongside Strickland for months, recounted the chaos. Strickland's fiery personality, often laced with unfiltered remarks, clashed hard with fighters from Ankalaev's region, where cultural and religious respect runs deep. What might pass as trash talk in America turned into serious offenses in their eyes. One sparring session with Russian fighter Zelim Imadaev spiraled so far out of control that blows continued well past the bell, and Imadaev was expelled from the gym, only for the conflict to reignite when he returned. This time, the threats extended beyond the mats. Strickland didn't step outside to take it further, but the incident highlighted just how volatile his presence can be. Yet despite the tension, Ankalaev praised him as one of the best sparring partners he's ever had. Someone who constantly tests his limits, even predicting Strickland could wear UFC gold again one day. But as the light heavyweight division scrambles, another name is rapidly climbing the ranks, Carlos Ulberg. At UFC Perth, Ulberg brutally knocked out Dominic Reyes, ending any hope of Reyes reclaiming former glory. It was a devastating finish that left the MMA world stunned, not least Jon Jones, who couldn't resist taking a jab at his old rival. Watching from afar, Jones quipped on social media, "Did Dominic win again?" The irony was sharp, considering Reyes has spent years insisting he beat Jones back in 2020. The knockout loss not only silenced Reyes, but may have slammed the door shut on his UFC career. Meanwhile, Ulberg's violent statement has catapulted him into the title conversation. He's already declared himself ready to serve as the backup fighter for UFC 320's main event, prepared to step in at a moment's notice to face either Pereira or Ankalaev. His rise adds another layer of intrigue to an already chaotic division. With new blood threatening to disrupt the established order, UFC 320 is shaping up to be one of those nights where the entire landscape of the sport can shift in a matter of hours. Will Merab's evolution shock the world? Or will Sandhagen finally capture the moment he's been chasing for years? Can Pereira prove his dominance at full strength, or will Ankalaev's unbeaten streak define a new era? And looming in the shadows is Carlos Ulberg, the knockout artist ready to snatch opportunity if the chaos of Fight Week opens the door. This is what makes MMA so compelling. Legacies are built and shattered in the same night, and the smallest detail, a missed takedown, a blocked punch, a fighter walking in at 40% instead of 100, can reshape history forever. UFC 320 isn't just another card. It's a collision course of champions, contenders and wild cards all battling not just for belts, but for destiny. What do you think? Does Sandhagen finally achieve glory? Or does Merab's relentless evolution keep the belt in Georgia? Will Pereira prove the doubters wrong, or does Ankalaev reign supreme? And is Carlos Ulberg the future king of 205? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for daily breakdowns of the biggest moments in MMA.